You either become a better parent or a worse person. I remember almost 10 years ago, I was sitting in my car, my 3-year-old son sitting in the back seat screaming at the top of his lungs. On a normal day, that wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but on this particular day, we were dealing with some pretty severe financial trouble, and just everything had piled up. It just all gotten to this place where it was too much. And we'd been dealing with him all day long, just having a rough day, as babies do at times. And so he's sitting here in the back seat screaming his head off. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe if I had just not had more kids, or maybe just not had kids at all, my life would be better. And I remember as I sat there, becoming more and more bitter in my heart, I heard the Spirit say, Dev, you either become a better parent or a worse person. Naturally, that struck me as odd. I thought, better parent or worse parent, that makes sense, but better parent or a worse person, how does that work? And what he said to me is, when you're facing struggles with your children, you have to elevate your parenting to be able to meet the requirements of the child that you've been given. You see, having children is an ever-growing pressure. Every day as they grow, the complexity of what they're going to require of you as a parent is growing along with them. And if you don't continue to grow with them, then eventually their needs outpace your capabilities, until every moment of need becomes a visible representation of your failures as a person. And like anyone who feels like a failure on a regular basis, eventually bitterness starts to set in. And like a cancer, that bitterness begins to poison your soul, until the time comes that you're no longer living your life, but enduring your life. Enduring until that glorious moment when you can kick them out of the house to go be adults and get your life back. But what you don't realize is that the miserable person that you've become stays with you even after they leave. Because it was never your circumstances that were the problem. It was you. Now, don't get me wrong. Raising your parenting game doesn't mean that you don't perpetually feel like a failure as a parent, believe me. Every day I try to raise my game, and I still meet the end of the day feeling like it wasn't enough. But the difference is that at the end of each day, I don't go to bed feeling like, well, I endured another day and looking forward to some time off in the distant future when I can get beyond this moment of difficulty. But rather, I go to bed each day tired, knowing that I left everything I had on the table, knowing that I gave everything I had to be the best I could in that moment, and also knowing that every day I'm getting a little bit better. And make no mistake, this is a choice you have to make every single day as a parent. Every day, every difficult moment, every screaming fit, every time they throw stuff on the floor, every time they make stupid decisions, every time they're embarrassing, every single day, every single moment, you have to make a choice. You are either going to become a better parent or a worse person.